Yo, what's happening? Back once a motherfucking again. Cordy the motherfucking great, aka Poseidon Soundz, down in my all that shit, you know, all that shit. Anyway, so yesterday I was inspired by a song I heard, and it was an Afro Beat song. And I made an Afro beat, not song. I had to cut that because I said I made an Afro Beat song. But I made an Afro beat. So I just wanted to share with you guys the process of how I made it. And also, I don't know if it came out to be 100% Afro beat. You guys can judge it for what you want. It got that Afro feel to it. I think it's Afro beat. You guys call it what the hell you want. It's Afro beat for me. You know, all that good shit. You know, my Jamaican descent. You know, I'm half Jamaican. Down in my all that shit. So I just wanted to try it and see what it do. I think it came out pretty dope. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna show you guys all the instruments I used. I'm gonna show you guys. I put a little bit of swing in it. Show you guys how I did that. I'm just gonna show you the beat. It's really just because I want you guys to give me feedback on the beat while I'm doing this video. But you know, I'm gonna let it be a teaching process too. And then also I haven't did a video of me making beats yet. So this is gonna be that video too. And I'll have more. Like I said, mostly this is gonna highlight my mixing tutorials when I do these vlogs. But it's gonna be a little bit of everything too. So this is my first beat making one with Afro beats. Let's check it out. Okay, we're here on the MPC. That's what I use MPC to make my beats. My workflow is a little bit weird. I make my beats in MPC. I mix them in my FL Studio. But if I'm mixing my beats with my song, then I'm doing everything in Pro Tools. So when I'm just mixing my beats to upload to like my BeatStar page or something, I'll just mix it in FL Studio because I like the layout of it, and it's super easy to mix with that using beats. But of course, if I'm mixing a whole song, I'm using Pro Tools. But anyway, that was a side note. I digress. So with this Afro beat that I made, Afro beat, for my initial melody, I needed like a kind of like that Caribbean feel, like that Caribbean like vibe. So I was looking for a specific instrument, and I have this VST called Chromophone, and Chromophone gave me like this almost like, it's called a Glockenstring. The preset, it's a preset under the Mallet's Bank of Chromophone. It's called Glockenstring, and it gave me like this. It's like this Caribbean type instrument. Like it's a little bell at the top of it, but it's like, I'll just play it. Like a little bell pluck, right? I don't know what type of Caribbean instrument that I want to say. I have a name for something, but you know, can't get it out right now. But so that's the initial sound. That's how I started this melody, and I played it just in some chords. I think it's only like 3 or 4 chords that I played it with. I just listened to a bunch of Afro beats, and they have like this, you know, continuous, just like real simple melody. Afro beats tend to be really simple. I didn't want to make it like super melodic in terms of having a lot of melodic elements to it, layered, because Afro beats are they're really simple, but they're catchy. They're catchy as fuck, and they're just super simple. So that's my initial sound, and I just played that in a few chords. Cool. And then after that, I went for this wood perk that you hear in a lot of Afro beats. It's almost like a rim, but I decided to use it's almost like a rim shot, but I decided to use this wood perk. And this wood perk, I'll solo that and play that for you. So I use that as my main snare. It's real simple notes played right after each other, and have like a little quad hit in the middle bar. And so with that, I just had the initial hit, have it at full velocity, and then I toned down the second one a little bit, and then with this quad note plate, I just diversified the velocity of it a little bit more because I didn't want it just constantly hitting at full velocity. So I just play with it a little bit, just something you do just to spice up the beats a little bit, not have everything just like in every element of the beat just blaring. So now we have this. So we got a little bit of a groove, a little bit of a little swing to it. We got a little, little bounce going. And also with these notes, I did add a little bit of swing. If you guys don't know what swing is, you can add your swing up here. And it goes all the way up to 75. But basically, it just moves these notes off grid a little bit so they're all not hitting exactly on the grid. It's to make your music sound less robotic, because a lot of music these days are just super on the grid, and a lot of people like Jay Dillon and stuff use this little bit of swing to move things off the grid a little bit, so that they make it hit harder, and they make it seem more like an actual person is playing these percussions and these drums and these instruments, as opposed to it just hitting exactly when the computer, which is a robot, that just hits exactly on. So it gives it a more human element to it when you add the swing to it. Then I use this synth bass from Omnisphere. Let me solo that. Woo. And that's just 3 notes. I just used 3 notes with that, but it just had that I just got that bounce going. I just basically played around on the keys until I found something that fit, and this was just hitting hard to me. I was like, okay, I got something with this. And so, like I said, that was the Omnisphere, and it's a Stockholm puncher bass with Omnisphere. This is just a preset out the Omnisphere bank. I didn't tweak anything on those presets. So yeah, that's just a Stockholm puncher bass. Had that shit slapping, and then now we have this. Okay, we building something now. Cooking. So next, I have this kick, right? And I like this kick because it's kind of like a sub-level kick. It's not too punchy, and it has that thump that I need to it. That's real sub-level thump that I need to it, that a lot of Afro beats have. But and I basically just like 4 on the floor with this pattern that I hear in like most Afro beats, a lot of reggaeton beats. It's just that constant thump. But yeah, so this had a lot of that low end sub kick level to it, but it needed something else. So I have this, right? But with the with the synth bass in there, it's around the same region, right? Because I didn't sidechain it yet, because I sidechained it in the mix. But I knew it's taking up the same frequency range, or it's occupying some of the same frequency range as that synth bass. So I needed to add something on top of it, and I just basically added another kick. Let me solo this kick for you. And this kick basically didn't have any type of like low into it, but it had that punchiness, it had that punch frequency that I liked. So I heard this kick and I heard the other one that I previously laid, and I was like, this is perfect. I'm gonna layer those two on top of each other, and it's gonna give me that low end like thump from that sub kick, but it's also gonna give me that punchiness from this kick. And I downloaded this kick out of some, I think I found this AfroBeat / dancehall drum kit on a YouTuber's page, because I was like, I'm gonna make an Afro beat. Let me try to get some percussions. Even though I have tons of percussion sounds, I needed something that was like specific that I can just go to. And I found this kick, and I was like, perfect. And so yes, I combined those two, and I got this now. Yeah. Okay. The sauce though, man. Sometimes I just don't know what to say about myself. Nigga be too clean. All right. So after that, I got a good sound going. I'm like, cool, but I need something else. I need another melody on top of it. I just can't have those initial tropical like Caribbean chords just playing and that be it. But I also, like I said, I didn't want to overdo it with the melodic elements. So pulled up Omnisphere again. Shout out Omnisphere. That's the go-to. Even though I do use a bunch of other ones, like I said, I use Chromophone with this one. I use Electra. I use the Hybrid 3. I love that one too. I actually recently just got back into that. But with this, I used to use Omnisphere because I needed. I was like, I playing it and I kept hearing like a flute sound in my mind. So I was like, all right, I gotta have a flute for this. So solo the flute, and this is a fast Scheif airborne flute. Yeah, and this was a stock preset, but I did modify this stock preset a little bit. I stopped it initially had like this breathing effect to it. Let me play it. It's the second layer. It was layered with this air effect on it. And it's like the same thing that's on the loaded flute. For those who have Omnisphere, you guys know what loaded flute is. So it had like this air playing on the second layer, which is right here called breathing effects 03. I didn't want that. I just wanted that whistle. I just wanted that whistle of that flute. So I did that, basically turned it off, and then I believe, yeah, I played with the reverb a little bit. I don't remember exactly what it was at before, but I increased the size. I increased the time on it, and yeah. So that's what I like to do. Just to say that I didn't use stock presets with Omnisphere, I do go in there and I do tweak my presets a little bit. I can accomplish the same things that I do in the presets in the actual mix, adding reverb and stuff, but I just like to do it so I'm not using like the stock, just for creativity purposes, and for sake of just saying that I didn't use the stock presets 100%. So yeah. So we have that flute. I love this beat. It's one of my favorite beats. Shit was super simple, but it was slapping. All right. And then I added some hi-hats. Didn't want to overdo it with the hi-hats once again. Just add these little triple hi-hats. Have the velocity going up, and then I have randomized it. Then I have it going up and have it randomized again at the end. So it just plays like the end of the bar, end of each bar, and yeah, nothing crazy with the hi-hats for this beat. Okay, and then I added another kind of tropical perk, African perk thing to it. It was a marimba. That just had that real, Afro Beat, Caribbean type of feel to it. It's like a steel pan, I guess, or something like that, but it just had that. And I just double tapped it, and then like this little quad thing at the end. And these had some swing on it. So these notes these second notes in here are off grid a little bit. Added probably like 54 swing to it, just to make it sound more human. And then with that added in, we have this. Some little details that made it just sound so much more like Afro Beat to me. Just adding those little small perks, those just small details with that. And so, like I said, and I didn't want to overdo it with the melody, but so I did add another one initially, but I decided to take it out. That's what I do with beats. I'll just try to build it up, add sounds, and then if something just doesn't fit, don't force it. Don't force it in the beat because you feel like you have to have it. Like if something is simple and that shit slap to you, just leave that shit as it is. I'll actually play it for you guys. This other, I use Hybrid 3, and I use this other, I'm not even sure what this is, but it was just basically another melodic sound from the VST, and it just didn't fit the song once I was playing it together, so I just removed it. It was the ARP solo. Let me play it in context with the rest of it. Yeah, and so it was just too much movement. It was too complex. And I was like, you know what? This beat is just it's hidden and it's just simple, and I like it like that. So I didn't use the art. So I was like, fuck it. Tried it, and I had some presets on here. I had some isotope vinyl. I used rhythmizer. I might have half timed it or something like that, but it still didn't fit, so I didn't use it. And then we have another perk here. This is like a bongo congo like type perk, and it plays hits at one of the times where the marimbas hit. The marimba perk hit, but the way I mixed it, like I said, this is the unmixed version. You can hear it, and it's just like just another perk. It had that. It's just another like African perk, and just adds to it. So let me solo show you it. Yeah, just that quick percussive bongo. So then play it in context with the beat. That was it. I did add a clap in one of these sequences. Let me actually try to find it. Yeah, okay. So in one of the different sequences when I arranged the beat, I did add a clap to it. And this clap just basically, during a certain part of the beat, the clap replaced the snare, the wood snare. Just simple snap. Simple clap. Just a clap with kind of like this triangle hit to it, bell hit to it. And it wasn't like a bassy clap or anything like that. It just had that punch to it that I hear in a lot of Afrobeat style songs or Afrobeat songs. So added that at a specific part of the beat. That's when you hear that. So yeah, that was that's all. It's about that was about 10 or 11 sounds to it. And it was simple and it was slapping, and I just did my thing with the mix. And yeah, that was the Afrobeat song. Let me play actually a piece of my arrange for it, not the whole thing. Yeah, so that was the Afrobeat beat that I made. It was real simple. not too many elements. Everything just fit perfect. I just took my time picking the sound. Sound selection is everything. Making beats. Took my time with the sound selection. I used 2 kicks, which I usually don't do, but it was something I felt it need. So, you know, beat making can be like a little bit unorthodox. You don't have to do what, you know, everybody does. You have to use the same style of percussive instruments, 808s, the things that everybody does. So this was just me taking my time using sound selection to make a really good beat. And it's that simple. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that quick video of me making that Afro beat. I'm gonna put it up for sale on my BeatStar page eventually. I actually want to try to get an Afro beat artist to make a song over it. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, moving on to the next video, we're gonna get back to the mixing tutorial, and then like I said, intermittently I'll have these videos in there showing me making a beat or something else. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. Let's keep this community going. And into the next video, Corey D, the motherfucking Great, aka Poseidon Soundz. You know how I say, fuck y'all and have a great day.